Namaste and welcome to the Voice of Passionate Action. I am Wisdom Teacher Sri Ram Ka.
And coming to you from the heart of the world here in Ecuador at Tosa Blue Mountain, I am Master Lady Kira Ra, and welcome. Welcome to a profound moment, a really stunning experience for all humanity that is inviting everyone, every being right now to remember, to uplift, and to go beyond. So I want to invite you to bring your hand to your heart. We have so much to share. You can see right here, this is what's going on in the pyramid. There is July revelations coming up in about a second. There is so much to share, and it begins right here with the invitation that as you are receiving the magic of this sacred geometric experience, that you allow your consciousness to relax and receive. So let's just practice that. Let's relax. There you are. And receive. Yeah, and I'm going to get to those July revelations in a moment, but I know my husband's dying to jump in.
Oh, whenever we say the words relax and receive, I'm reminded to also add breathe.
There it is. There it is.
Because it is on the breath that we find the gateway to our ascended heart. Mm-hmm. It is on the breath that we find the gateway to our divine connection, the infinite supply of prana that's available to all beings. So just imagine for a moment as you breathe in,
relaxing.
I am connected to an infinite supply of light and love. Let's breathe that one more time.
And let's slow it down. I am. Really feel that.
I am.
Connected. I am connected.
Yes.
To an infinite source of all that is. Breathing that in, relaxing that out, and in that experience of that breath, we are going to jump immediately to the July calendar. And this is really important because the July presence is all about what? It is about commanding the light through the unification of sincerity, love, and presence. And that, remember, bringing it deep into your heart, relax, receive, this is the place where all miracles are manifested. Now, let's just begin with the basics here. July is culminating this week. Next Sunday, you want to mark your calendar right now. You want to be here because these August revelations are going to be bombshell revelations, things I'm still wrestling with sharing, and we really don't know what we're going to share until we make it through this Thursday and we pop out on the other side, which will exactly be next Sunday. So sincerely mark your calendar now. It is a week ahead of us that is all about the new moon, new world or not. And that is the choice, because look at that ascended consciousness energy. We have been living in experience, which means as the ascended cycle of consciousness goes, August will be about the choice. And this month has been about the one and the one. Now that one and one, that 11, that one and one always coming back to the infinite one has ignited another one and one experience this month. And look at the 13th. I want you to just bring your attention there right now. I want you to gaze at that, what looks like almost a violet flame, a violet ignition, a dance, a spiral that's coming right up out of that peak supermoon that happened in the mirror of the 4/4/13/13 on that day. You are already out of the cocoon. Whether you know it or not, babe, you're out. You have outed yourself. The whole world, this experience of humanity is already out in every way you can be out. It's all out there. And now, if you gaze beyond the butterfly, go into the graphic of this month, look at the 2022 Sea of Neutrality that has brought this butterfly up from the top of the pyramid, whose wings are now getting ready to command the light through unification. And this is where relax your eyes again and you see all of the new alchemies, all of the new geometries, all of the pieces of the kaleidoscope that were completely relaxed and released and put out there really fully on the 13th. And we have been on what has felt like a locomotive, guys, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Oh my goodness, breathe right now. And as you bring your attention to the 24th and the 31st are sharing identical energy. Today is the bookend of this week that has already happened, that is happening, that we are creating, have created, and will be again. Pause and really feel that. Breathing that in. Knowing that your linear brain doesn't even need to keep up with what the words that are coming out of me are saying now. What matters most is staying in this graphic, staying in this energy. I want you to notice the end of this week. Look at the 29th and look at the 30th. We got a blush of what's coming in last weekend. Remember, the weekends were going to be the pillars of July. And these pillars will have created as they are created. And if you gaze at the end of this week at the 30th, you notice that big blush of choice energy, that big blue. You see, it was coming in last week. That 22, 23 was when everything was coming in saying, hey, are you really getting serious? Have you paid attention? Where is consciousness guiding you? How are you being the active presence? And we have a lot to share about this, being the active presence. So if you gaze at that, you notice it comes in after Thursday. So yes, I'm working you backwards this week because it matters that you pay attention. It matters you pay attention. So please look at the 28th. The 28th, this Thursday, is an illuminated new moon that will also have a Jupiter retrograde where the apparition is beginning. These are literally the drum beats of the war. It is the drumbeat of the war within more than anything. The war within the heart, the war within the soul. And that war can either be the most beautiful, extraordinary moment where you get to stand up as the general and go, guess what? I'm here. This is going to be the most amazing, beautiful gift ever. And it ends in a second because you are resolved and clear. Or it is going to stand up with the greatest anger, resistance, and an extraordinary moment of resilience for those that are seeking to be in drama. And those are the words that are important to hear. Those that are seeking to be in drama, it is an addiction. So gaze at today. I'm bringing you all the way back, and then Shree's been trying to jump in. So give me a minute. I want you to look at the calendar before he jumps in. You need to feel it as much as hear it. And everyone really needs to pay attention because this is important. Today and next Sunday are the final moments of the pillars of July. And you notice that they are somewhat uneven yet equal. Look at the 2nd. The 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th are anchoring this week. That pillar is anchoring this week. And that pillar anchors with that massive choice and that blue support. I mean, it's so incredible. Everyone's going to get their dreams met. I can tell you that. All dreams are going to come true. So be clear on what your dreams are because we are dreaming this together. And that's why today and Sunday are so important. Today, we are outside of the illusionary experience of this world of potentiality, capable of navigating the sea of neutrality in a way we have never done before. And only as we start moving more into the latter half of this day will we start entering back into the realm of potentiality that would seek to help us forget who we truly are. And yet we are able to walk into that today with the conscious awareness of our divine mastery so that when we do move into Thursday, we know that 1,000 points of light will unify around this planet at minimum because the balance of that 2 through 30 is out of harmony with the balance of the Sundays. And the only thing that can move this into balance, and I'll show you that on the calendar again. I want to make sure you understood what I was saying. So I think you can see my cursor. So if you look at the 2 through the 30, you see how that began before we were able to stabilize. That's why moving into July felt so strange. And today starts the week where we can literally shift that center point so that those two pillars arise balanced, able to sustain the frequency of mastery presence that you are being gifted with. This week, even right now, notice how your brain is responding. Just even being here, just even listening. What's your brain noticing? Notice what you're noticing, right? And as you're noticing what your brain is noticing, notice what your chakras might be noticing. Noticing if you even are thinking you need to understand anything, or are you understanding it at a new level of perceptivity or of receptivity, right? It's about receiving. It brings us all back to consciousness and the opening in July of the portal of this pyramid and everything that's been happening since it started opening. Consciousness is being asked to leap faster. And before Shri and I go deeper into today, we want to share with you that we know some of the things that we're going to share today might be very jarring if you're holding a very sacred paradigm without any room for expansion. Today is really about offering you the gift of this week ahead and more. The gift of walking into that illuminated new moon with that apparition rising, that Jupiter energy as the commander of the ship, rather than the victim that is going to be fascinated by what's happening. And so it brings us back to our heart, where we started. It brings us back to our conscious attention and awareness. It brings us back to a premise that I want you to breathe in. And so I'm going to put this out there, and then Shri's going to continue. So take in a breath. And for all of you that may be chatting over at YouTube, hopefully over at Oneness Talk Radio YouTube, make sure you're over there. That's where we are now. Make sure you've subscribed. We will be taking your questions. We want this to be an interactive program, okay? Start sending them in. Jess will get them to us, because here's where we're going to go from here. And it begins with today. And today is really important about it. So maybe let's go into the sea neutrality first. So, right? So bringing our hands to prayer position. Let's take in a deep Ave Sa breath. There it is. I am here as the sea of neutrality, in the buoyancy of the law of instantaneous manifestation, in the full presence of all that I am as you are. In this experience of potentiality, the manipulations of that which have been manipulated have strayed into a moment of ignition of what many call Kali Yuga. And in this Kali Yuga, it is absolutely when the truth will be seen as a lie, when the lie will be seen as a truth, when the only truth detector is your high heart. It is what you know inside. It is going beyond the doubt of your divine barometer that anchors as you call in the stability of this physical form. To do that, humanity is being challenged to go beyond simply holding presence. To hold presence is a beautiful step. It's the first floor. It is to walk in and say, I am here. To hold presence is to still be in victim consciousness. Because to hold presence is to say, I will sit here and affect the outcome through this being that I am in this way of interacting. And the gift and the blessing is that it absolutely works. This is why Shri's alive. Thousands of us around the planet got together and prayed. This is why so many wonderful gatherings of hundreds of thousands and millions of people come together and pray, and it really does work. However, there's the moment before you get together, and there's the moment that gathering ends. And it's time for consciousness to lift its own head out of the sand and to see that it's the moments between those moments that affect the presence. Holding presence is the beginning. Now bring your hand to your heart. Take in a breath and just receive, right? Holding presence is just step one. Holding the active presence of being is step two. To hold the active presence of being is to lift beyond this potentiality and to put into active manifestation the intention of that sense of presence. When someone says to you, I will hold presence for you, say thank you. But then look back at yourself and ask why you still think you're ready to be rescued, rather than inviting all to be in the active presence of being. And so the active presence of being has many forms. And for some, certainly that form may be to spend 24 hours a day in their cave holding presence. That is their active presence of being, because it does not have a time that you show up and a time that you leave. And that's the quantifier, to find the moment outside of the illusion that is very much the balloon around the head of all. And that air is coming out very quickly. And the closer that balloon gets, the more challenging it is to resurrect the truth of thy own I am presence. And so this pyramid is coming forward as a active presence of being, as a radiation that is coming to help shift that center point. Because it's clear we're being shown that we're still out of balance. And we are at a moment where we are able to do this together. However, it's sincerely that it's just a step, right? It's a moment of saying, okay, time to perhaps consider that there's more.
There is more.
So let's take a moment and pause on that and just breathe. Because there is more, Shri. Please.
And it begins
And
with
thank you.
that presence. Thank
Yes.
you for sharing. You know, as I've been present with what Master Lady Kira has been sharing, there is a universe here that has been shared with you. And I'm using the word universe to say this is beyond that which we normally, quote, play with. That the conscious...
How fun. New crayons, new colors, new paper.
And I want to step back for a moment to make sure we've gathered the pearls as we move forward together.
And ask your questions. Just put them in the Q&A over there at YouTube, and Jess will get them to us.
Because one of the things that came forward very clearly to me is, as you were sharing about the calendar, is the opportunity for all of us to look deeper. To simply look is to see what our perceptual filters choose to present. To look deeper is to command your perception to reveal more than before. Let's take a look at the calendar again. But before I put it up, I want you to just close your eyes. And then in a moment, when you open your eyes, just see where your gaze lands. Here we go. Take a breath. Looking beyond the numbers, beyond the squares. Layers of information are radiating to you. I'm not going to point out all the layers. I'm going to invite you to be with that which your mastery directed you to notice. And then notice how you are in the noticing. Is there resistance? Is there a feeling of, am I getting it all, or self-doubt? Is there a fullness? Is there an aha, like, oh, yeah. Each of you has where you are and where you're going. And we feel that it's time to further ignite all beings, to be that which they took birth to be the fullness of who you are, to be the authentic you, no compromises, no nothing. Be it. And this is the energy of authenticity, which is the energy of the master in form. So let's breathe that for a moment and just quietly affirm, I am a master in form. Call that forward. Because the master will feel, sense, see, and think a little differently than the habitual, egoic feeling, sensing, and seeing, and thinking. And therein is the journey, is it not?
Oh, in every way. In every way. And I want to share again. Sri, would you put up the ascended cycle of consciousness? If this is your first time joining us, or if you're not familiar, I want to remind you that as we are all in this eternal cycle of ascended presence, when we are navigating this specific realm of potentiality, we move through the pyramid of spiritual awakening and arrive at a moment of consciousness that calls in that ascended experience. Let's put it that way. And the reason I'm being careful with my words is because that cycle, that eternal spiral, that one that you are in and have always been and will always be, is a very beautiful dance of awareness, experience, and choice. It's the moment when you arrive at the awareness of that you were aware of nothing. And then you arrive when you are aware again. And then you become aware of what you were not even aware of. And then you let go and the ego feels better and everything expands, because through that conscious awareness, you begin to have conscious experience. And through conscious experience, you become the commander of all that is throughout all space and time, through conscious choice that will always bring you again into a new cycle of conscious awareness. And this is the blessing that we are all consciously here with right now. Through that ascended cycle, through the conscious awakened being of the awareness, the experience, and the choice, things like this happen. Miracles happen. And I'm pointing to the pyramid when I say things like this happen. This is a miracle. Not only is it a miracle that the pyramid itself is being built by several different tribes that have more ethnic slurs for each other than I can list right now, and nor would I want to, and I have heard. However, they have resolved that. And they're now celebrating that they're working together. And we have hours of film of all of the things that have happened. And what you're seeing right here is right there. That's just the first level right there. That's just the first level. And there's 6. And so I want to invite you right now into the expansion. And let's go ahead. We're going to put up one more share screen, and then we'll also be checking on you. I want to remind you that this potentiality, and I know Shri has a lot more to share about this when he goes through the levels of consciousness as well. This potentiality is designed. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not a judgment. It's just what it is. This potentiality grows through polarity until consciousness says we're good with that. Let's find a new way, which we are at right now. And until then, the way that we literally ascend is by navigating the victim experience, which is a trinity in and of itself, of the victim, the abuser, and the rescuer. And this is why to simply hold presence is very much the highest experience of victim consciousness, because it is a witnessing of the energy. To hold active presence of being transforms the victim into a teacher, the rescuer into a healer, the abuser into the mentor. And at the end of the day, we realize that we are always all of this together within us all. And this is a profound moment where consciousness steps forward and consciousness begins to be expressed in ways that challenge things that have been.
Mm-hmm. So take a pause right there. Consciousness steps forward in a way that challenges things the way they have been. We live in an expanding universe. Yes. Yet the human ego and the servant of the ego, which is the mind, tries to make it all fit into a box rather than celebrate the flow of the emerging experience. And so many of us seek ways to come closer to the truth of the reality, the emergent reality. And many valid paths exist, everything from meditation to starvation and fasting and medicine.
All paths lead to the same place.
And so we pick something that resonates with us as a way to soften the structures that are keeping us separated from the joy of conscious being. So, beloved ones, when we talk about presence and active presence, we are encouraging and modeling the energy of participating in as co-creator with, as opposed to a loving witness of, that has resigned itself to the joy of witnessing without the participation of active choice.
Ooh, really here, right? This is a big show today, guys, and we're getting all your questions. We're coming.
Yeah, because we are past the point of simply smiling at what is and displacing responsibility to spirit, to the creator, to the politics, to the whatever.
Waiting to be rescued.
It's a sublimely sophisticated victim energy.
Ooh, sublimely sophisticated victim energy. Beautifully said.
Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
It's necessary to be a little poetic if we're really going to communicate the essence of what is transpiring. How many times have you been in an experience and the person next to you is having a richer connection than you are, and you look at that and you might say, oh, they're more sensitive, they're more accomplished, or you might beat up yourself and say, I just didn't get it. But I'm only bringing this up not because it's about comparison, it's about recognition that there's more.
Yeah.
We start where we are and we go to where we can fully be.
Yep.
Not without the need to compare. The key here is that in the active presence, we're taking a risk. We're vulnerable as a participant in the emerging reality rather than sitting back and smiling and just kind of having this unspoken thing of, well, we're all in it together and it's happening.
Well, now can I jump in?
Please
Can
do.
we dialogue on that?
Yeah, let's
All right,
do that.
Sri and I are going to have a little side talk. Listen in. Okay, so I love what you're sharing. And I think it's important here to note that this all ties back to consciousness.
Yes.
Because it's not about you. This is not, I wanted to just kind of interrupt that flow for a second, because this is really about the opportunity to fully embrace your multidimensional presence. I'm going to show that really quickly because, Sri, what you're really describing here is the AN, the Ascended Numerology. But I want us all, as you and I are looking at this, look at that third dimensional being, right? The third dimension is just waking up to the conversation that was started by people like Tolle about, looking at the witness and witnessing yourself. And, the beautiful work of Marianne Williamson is wonderful, but it's old work, guys. Forgive me, okay? I'm just going to say it like it is. It's the truth. It's beautiful foundational work that was great until we hit this moment of consciousness. And I'm not singling anybody out, everyone is doing amazing work and everyone needs a teacher. And these foundational basics need to be out there. We need to champion them. We need to send people to them. But if you're looking to honestly grow through this moment, that is going to limit you. You are even the I am discourses, the Saint Germain itself, outside of all of the machinations we put on the Saint Germain and this potentiality, the Saint Germain itself is clear. And I have been quietly sitting up leveling these books, that the books that came through the Ballards in the 30s are no longer going to support this level of consciousness. And so to be at the cutting edge is to be the pioneer and the buckboard. This is cutting edge. And what's so beautiful is that the country of Ecuador has really embraced this. Go to the Asway Facebook. Maybe some of our people can put in what's happening down here. The government is excited. We're looking at doing some other things. We're working with all of the local people here. This is a moment where just the building of this pyramid is already having the ripple effect in very tangible ways before the science of the left brain kicks in around that as well. That's what's happening to you. Like it or not, the ripple effect is here. And can I put up the Ascended Numerology, Sri?
Yeah,
can we
let's do
talk
it.
about that?
Get it.
Because the Ascended Numerology of this moment is extraordinarily powerful. And so I need to be able to see it myself. There we go. I need to see all the numbers too.
Yeah.
Give us 1 second, guys. It's just a little big in our screen. But as you're gazing at it, there it is. Perfect, honey. As you're gazing at this, please notice first and foremost, I want you to look at the body. So just let go of the wheel, because the wheel alone is enough for you to get what's been happening this month. I mean, you look at the wheel and go, I get that. Not only is it intense, look at all that infinite presence and the way that we're going through things and the lifelines that have been thrown out and the anchor points. But when you look at the body, not only is everyone spinning in the infinite energy, so whether you know it or not, you have this infinite energy that's really spinning around you saying, what do you want to do with me? And for those that are unaware of it, they might have seen heightened chaos. They might feel more separate. Their emotional body might be really upset more. It's like it's like seeing a wave coming and thinking that you can just avoid it. It's basically about saying, hey, that's a great wave. I'm surfing this one and I'm going to laugh rather than let it wash over me and hurt me. Why not command it in? You are the commander. And so look at all of the divine energy, and everything ties to the same place, creation. Look at that second chakra. It is all about the second chakra, and the lifeline of the second chakra this month is coming in and anchoring this week. It's already here. And this is why Sri and I are talking about it. It's not about holding presence. It's about holding the active presence of being into the instantaneous manifestation of your greatest dreams and releasing any energy of war or conflict from your life experience. And that also includes what the outside world might want to make you believe. We are in a moment, creation, 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 and coming in with this new moon, you're already feeling it. Third chakra, that's going to give us that ability to move the center point, right? That's the lifeline. And so it might be the very end of the month, but you know what? It's actually coming. No one's going to rescue you. You're going to be able to command the shift because the alignment just is so obvious. It cannot be ignored. If you're honestly doing the work, if you are honestly believing whatever it is you're believing about your own ascended presence, let it go and just start saying yes to you outside of even that limitation. Let it be amazing. Let the miracles come forward, because that's what you're seeing right here. And Sri, I know you have so much to share as well, but I was thinking, I just want to, we have so much here that I was going to actually, I can read a little bit. I thought I'd read some to you and let you,
Sure,
we can both respond.
let's bring it forward.
So we're going to take a moment right here. Yeah, it's a perfect time because we have so much more to share today, but breathing that in, right? Feeling, is this crazy gorgeous? We were in there yesterday. We wanted to broadcast there today, but we couldn't make it work. So here we are. Sri, I'm just going to start at the very beginning. All right.
Sure,
how about we trade?
Yeah.
All right. So here we go, because you guys rock. You guys are so amazing. So here we are. First one we've got is making the choice to be me in fullness. And this is from Pauline, who also says, you as a couple are the purest and of service for humanity in global Minga. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Grateful to have recognized and brought this group to the lineage holders. Together we are better. Love you all. And we love you, sweetheart. Thank you. From Laura. Hey, Laura. Wow, the war within. That's coming in, speechless. Exactly. This is the Bhagavad Gita in motion. You know, I feel that all my years as a Gita scholar, and all the times and teaching it and moving through into, and as you know, up-leveling the Gita into the ascended knowledges, we are at that moment where it's about saying yes and being the commander, being the 5-star general of your own life. And here we are from Gary. Hey, Gary. Many blessings and all our love. Lynn and I are both here. Mwah, yay. Hi, baby. Loving you always. Namaste, angels. From Solik. Togetherness and blessings multiply. I have a question. All right. Sri, here's the first question. Self-ascension symptoms at this time. It seems there are many in emotional meltdown. Yes. As I journeyed back to the United States, this became so clear. Is this part of the ascension process for humanity to choose to move through the emotional body and ascend, or be trapped by it? So let's take in a breath on that. Sri, would you like to respond first?
Sure.
Great question. And I would also say, go back to the past 10 minutes where you probably wrote that before we just spoke, because we were addressing some of that.
Yeah. It's important to recognize that we have anchored aspects for engaging the world. Those aspects include the inner child. Those aspects include what is classically referred to as the wise adult, or the higher self. we are at the time where we must recognize that we are the essential self that is allowing these subsets to engage and experience. You are your higher self. You are your soul. And all of this other stuff are refractions. So that's the intellectual piece. Let's get down to the practical piece. The emotional body was groomed out of the context of this world, your family, your religion, your politics, etc. You know, that's how it was groomed. So of course, when you use the word meltdown, I was smiling, because what it really means, it's melting away.
Right?
If you allow it.
Right?
And so be present for the reactivity, be present for the meltdown, but at the same time be present to the witnesser of the one that is witnessing the experience. Call forward the capacity to be in your multidimensional truth. And the emotional process will unwind with much quicker, because you're not going to drown in it and start playing polarity games and blame and all of that. You're going to witness that a part of you was engaged.
Right.
It's having its experience. And the part of you that is connected to that infinite source of light and love is also here.
Now, I want you to breathe that in, because it is here. And I want you to receive everything Sri just said. So first, really breathe in and receive everything Sri just said, because there is a deeper essence here. And I'm seeing some of the other questions coming up as well. We are at a moment where the energy of the multidimensional presence is so strong and so supported that the emotional body is the only weapon left of the mind. The mind is your servant. Please read our first book, Sacred Union, The Journey Home. It is a timeless classic, as are all of our books. We just had bad advice on titles, but seriously, give yourself the gift of rereading it, because we are at the moment where it is only the seed of doubt within that stops us coming together. It is the ego that wants to own something for the sake of either the fame, the money, or the illusionary experience of an addiction of adrenaline. Within the ascension community, within all of these energies, let us break through the words. Let us just come together, because we know it's just the right thing to do. That is what Global Minga does. If we need to build a house, we build a house. If we need to help somebody eat, we help somebody eat. If we need to build a pyramid for world peace, we're going to do it. We're going to get all 12 built. Whatever Global Minga needs, it's not a question of will we do it? It's a question of let us come together in the highest service of all. Because the Yoga of Self-Ascension, at the end of the day, is about the full embodiment of the Divine Galactic Blueprint. The Divine Galactic Blueprint is the ascended chakra system that ignites the 144 chakras, which gives us our cosmic connection. However, there is a catch, and the catch is a level of consciousness. And this is why we were so blessed in the 90s when David Hawkins first came forward and started doing something. And because of his extraordinary career and his extraordinary research, he was able to bring something forward and was the first person to codify it. Yet, as with all other work on the planet, all other work that was put together before we hit the millennium, the 2000 mark, all of that was designed to be able to sustain and assist an expansion of consciousness that has always led to the same result. Breathe that in. Those are the potentialities where this didn't get built. Those are potentialities where Sri, in 2019, where we both did check out, where his acute ischemia got him, and 2 months later, my cancer got me. That already happened in many other potentialities. The fact that we're here right now is a miracle. And your emotional body is not who you are. Your emotional body, when it comes forward, when anyone's emotional body comes forward, and no one is immune, Sri and I are walking through it as much as you all are. We are all walking through it because it is the last gesture of density to stop you. So thank you for bringing up that question, because many and all are going through this. And the reason we stopped, I do want to share with you, the reason we stopped putting out formal ascension symptoms is we found that many people were getting addicted and bound to them. Many were starting to argue about them, and it was not of highest service. The highest service is for you to go back and look at all the things that we've put out over all these years of preparation, because we are at go time. And this is that moment where a symptom is only given energy by a brain that's seeking to limit your capacity. The master is ready to embody in form. I have been living this energy now for over 2 years. And I will share with you, it is not easy. And it is hard to be a pioneer on a planet where many resist. Everyone wants to be contained. Everyone wants to feel safe. Of course we do. So the greatest safety you will ever have is by trusting yourself and knowing that. And the first step in that is to recognize that when your decisions are being made for the highest service without any sense of how it affects you, you're on the right track.
Yeah.
So let's take in a deep breath. And my eyes are gone, connecting with you. So Shree's going to have to keep reading our text. And we have a lot of them.
All right. But as we're taking that breath and allowing the emotional body and inviting it to come into the recognition.
Invite it. It doesn't want to be allowed. It's going to think you're a parent. Invite it.
Very good. We exist in multiple ways as we engage the experience that we call life. And it is really important to our pathway of self-ascension that we cultivate consciousness through the cycle of awareness, experience, and choice.
There it is.
No one is a victim of anything unless you choose to insert in that way.
And there's that choice again, right?
And
that's part of the ascension consciousness is the choice.
And so therein is one of those paradoxes. There's lots of paradoxes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Because we're operating in multiple timelines and multiple perspectives. And so what may be true at one level of consciousness no longer has power at another level of consciousness.
Yeah.
And that's really part of the dance. And Kira mentioned David Hawkins. One of the things that Hawkins so beautifully identified, and I want to pass this to you as an inspiration, is that human beings go through all these experiences and automatically are seeking to lift because it is our nature.
You are ascending from the minute you are born.
And so we go through the various stages that are really ego states.
But they're all ascension.
But they're ever more refined.
Exactly.
Until we come to what he refers to as the level of 500. 500 is the state where love becomes the dominant reality for consciousness. And that love is that state of connection with the, not sure if that's...
Are you all seeing, we don't, okay, I'll stop the share and try again, but according to this, it was sharing.
It should be sharing,
You should be seeing the level of consciousness. Forgive us, for whatever reason, it doesn't have that little
green box.
There it is. There it is. Okay, gosh, I don't know what you saw before, but now you're seeing that.
And so the work of self-ascension is printed in blue on the left, that
Yes.
we move through the activism, through the spiritual activism,
Exactly.
which is a higher order of self-approval, into true ascension awareness.
And I want to stop there because there's spiritual activism is a blessing.
Yes.
You know, we were talking about spiritual activism back in 2004 and 2005, and we appreciate that many people own that energy. But you need to remember that anything that has activism or any ism attached to it is a frequency of polarity, no matter how rarefied. 400s, the 400s to the 500s is a stunning level, and we all walk through it. It's about expanding the breath through the recognition that if we meet something at the level it is created, we cannot find the solution, right? This is Einstein. This is not woo-woo.
And so before we move back to the live camera, I want to point out something here, that at the level of 500, take a look at those qualities that come in now. Love, gratitude, joy, and peace is actually a more ascended energy, because the 500s are the gateway to the quantum field, where life becomes a revelation rather than a causal result. Below 500, we're dealing with...
Could you say that again?
Yes.
Because that was really important.
That when we hit 500, life becomes a revelation. It's revelatory. We're in the flow of the quantum field rather than being a result of a prior energy. The cause and effect of the Newtonian consciousness is everything science is built on. It's everything that medical systems are built on. It is based upon the projected belief that we are an effect of something else.
Right.
Cause and effect.
Right.
And we try to refine that to have more refined causes and effect. Whereas what's all that is required, it's so simple, yet it is the challenge. It is the discipline, is to lift our consciousness up into the zone at 500 and above, where now your brain chemistry actually changes. You are engaged with the sea of neutrality. You are no longer affected by the planetary thought body for anything more than a blip as you go, oh, okay, there was some fear that went by. It went by because it was an engagement with a different level of consciousness. There comes a point for all of us to recognize that death is an illusion, fear is an illusion, and only love, consciousness, and choice are the active expressions of the awakened being.
You know, breathe that in, because I've been, as Shri has been sharing such profound energy with you, I've been reading all of your beautiful sharings, the ones that Jess has been able to get to us so far. And Shri, as you're sharing, so many are affirming. And so many of you are here in this moment right now. And I want to go back for 1 minute, just for a second. And I just want to again put for you the cycle of ascended consciousness, because you do realize that if you put that right next to the levels of consciousness that Shri was just sharing with you, you see that in order to get to the awareness that you are even in a cycle of ascended consciousness, right? So I'm gonna take this one down, and then very quickly we're gonna put this one back up, so you're remembering what you just saw, right? That does not begin until you are able to transcend activism. If you are stuck in activism, and this means politics, you know, Shri and I are very outside of all politics. We are the sea of neutrality. All have the right to be. It doesn't mean that we are passive. You know that we are the preeminent passionate action. However, your ascension awareness, you cannot even be aware of what you are not aware of until you can transcend into that energy of love. And that, I'm going to show you one more graphic, is the compassion. This is where the Buddha comes forward, right? This is that compassion that you wrap around yourself enough to be able to lift you into that fifth dimensional experience, to be the witnesser of that emotional body that only exists in the third dimension. The emotional body serves the physical form of this realm of potentiality. And this is why it is such a sly pirate. Read Sacred Union, The Journey Home again. Take Navigating Your Matrix again. Love yourself more. Because right now, back in 2004, we shared the Living in the Fifth Dimension series, and people thought we were insane. We've got it all online, free at shrinkira.com. Go read it again. Go read it again. Give yourself the gift of loving you more. Because when you do that, when you lift into that fifth dimensional space, that's where you have the opportunity to finally release the judgments. Trying to release judgment consciousness while you're living in the sea of victim consciousness is not ever going to happen. That's the illusion that keeps you trapped and thinks that you're failing. Forgiveness begins with self. Compassion begins with love. And when we love ourselves enough to hold that compassion, we can finally lift beyond that which seeks to polarize. That which is so upset about hearing truth is that which is being attacked. And that which is being attacked is saying, you cannot touch me, cannot touch us, because we are just swimming in a sea of neutrality and we love you too much. So every arrow you sling becomes a weapon in our field of protection. This week matters. It really matters. This pyramid matters. We need help, guys. We can't finish it alone. We need your help. And so this is a moment. And I do want to put up the calendar one last time for you, my angels, because it's important for you to see. Check this out. There we are. All right, there it is. Boom. There it is. This Thursday. If you cannot be there live, at least register. Put your name in that says, yes, I care. Because you see what we're navigating this week? You see all that beautiful, those blue, you see they're like blue, luminescent, like blue flames, right? Like lots of blue. Imagine you're at a concert when you were my age and we still used lighters, right? So you have all those blue flames glowing up. Those are the flames of ignition that are finally igniting everything that you've been doing all month. It's all coming together this week. It's all coming together this week. And on the 29th and the 30th, we have that beautiful gift of the choice beginning to be the energy of the sea of neutrality. We're coming into home base, guys. We're right here. And it's a beautiful moment. It really is. And you're a beautiful community, the best ever.
You know, I want to segue on that. It is really important to lend your mastery presence.
That's what Global Minga is.
To this meditation that is happening. It's more than a meditation. This experience that is happening on the 28th, because many of you were there on the 13th.
And if you weren't, get registered and
However,
get the recording.
This is the next step for
the
that.
essential step.
And it is really essential that we come together. And one of the gifts that is happening on this day.
And can I say one thing, Sri? And forgive me for interrupting, but I need to say it because I hear people thinking it. Okay. So you might be saying, you just told us that when we all get together and holding presence, I want you to hear something. When we come together on this, it says global meditation. This is an active, participative meditation. And what you do before and what you do after matters. You're in the before right now, and we will offer you some after. Yeah. So forgive me, but I heard people thinking that, I wanted to bring a wrapper to that. So go ahead, my love.
So the thing that, for those of you that have not participated, one of the blessings of this experience is to be guided through the opening of energetic fields. That is an act of mastery from beloved Kira Ra, that she is opening up an opportunity that is co-created with each of you so that you might discover capacities you did not know you had. To be in the presence of that unfolding energy, to follow the tip of the arrow as it pierces the dimensional delusions and opens up beyond the field of neutrality, beyond the existence of these dimensional, call them waves, just call them waves. To have that opportunity activates a knowing inside that cannot be attained easily on one's own.
No.
To come together as community is an embrace of support, and to have the guidance that is offered to you is the active presence that will synergize. This is the alchemical piece. So join us, please. If your heart says, yes, I want to contribute to the highest expression for myself and all humanity, this is a step.
Yes.
This is an active choice that you can take that has powerful effects.
So go to ShriandKira.com and make sure to be a part of that. And Shri, I want to share something else, because the other thing that you can be doing every single day, I'm going to put it up on screen right now, is to invite your expansion, invite your consciousness to expand beyond with the very simple mantra of the reminder: open your mind, expand your vision, ignite your heart, heal the world. To open your mind is, I am here. To expand your vision, I am ready. Ignite your heart, I am open. Heal the world, guide me. In the knowing that in that guide me is the mastery presence already in form, ready to serve with complete sincerity, complete presence, trust, love, abundance. And that's what this is. The pyramid is Shri and I's 100% trust in the universe of starting something and putting it all in and saying, we have no idea how this will finish. We just know it's finishing. Mm-hmm. And to be the active presence of that every day. And so that is all of us.
It is.
And we are grateful. And Shri, I know we're running out of time. Do we want to share anything else from our group?
Well, I just want to put
Please.
add my cappy.
We're getting a lot of messages. Please, yeah.
That a vision that is bigger than any one of us is a vision worthy for the global Minga.
Exactly.
Because we are in this together. It's not about one being rescuing another being. It's about collaboration, co-creation, participation, and holding the vision and taking action on that. And we invite you to participate. Be with us in the joy of this manifestation.
And in that joy, bring your hands to your heart. And I do want to offer clarity on one of the comments. It was a lovely comment thanking us for our brutal honesty. And I want to rephrase that, because to think of honesty as brutal is still from victim consciousness. Honesty, when met master to master, is an affirmation of expansion. To hear something that expands us, if we are feeling that as brutal, then look within at the piece of you that's not being loved enough and celebrate the witnessing of that energy. That is a mastery comment from a master, and I honor you for making it. So feel the gift of that. Remember, every moment you celebrate that you are one moment closer to that which I am as you are is the moment that it all unfolds. You are that master, and you are able to command your ship. And so many beautiful comments, Shri. I just want to share. Courtney shares, here we go, global Minga, let's go. Linda Perry, such powerful and freeing content today. Thank you, and a tight hug. Solik, it's as simple as, if you don't like the drama, change the channel. There it is. Patty says, so much gratitude. Thank you. It's go time. Yes. Kate saying, so grateful for this transmission. Namaste to all. Samantha saying, what a ride. Just keep my eyes on the divine coming into my being. Thank you all for holding each other, and so many more.
Yes.
You are as I am. We are. With every smile of conscious awareness, you are the illuminated presence of creation. And remember, what's July, guys? Second chakra. Today's show is just as important as next Sunday's show. So make sure, we said in the beginning, this is a bookend, because it's about making the balance. It's about saying, okay, we're going to put that balance. We're going to be there on Thursday. We love you with all our heart and soul.
Breathing together, feeling the gratitude, and recognizing that no matter where you are, love, gratitude, and joy will take you home.